We are anonymous. No faces, no flags, no permission slips. We exist where power expects silence, where obedience is assumed, and where the truth emerges not as a leak, but as a failure of control. And right now, Donald Trump is losing control. Not on a debate stage, not in a courtroom he can stall, not in a rally where he can drown reality in noise. He is losing control inside the system itself, where tweets do not matter, tantrums do not count, and procedure is king. While Trump has been busy lashing out retaliating against enemies and governing through spite, something far more dangerous to his agenda has been quietly unfolding inside the House of Representatives. No shouting, no MAGA theater, no viral clips, just process votes and the slow reassertion of institutional power. This is not chaos. This is resistance. It began the way real revolts in Washington usually do, quietly and almost invisibly. On Friday, through a unanimous consent motion, the House of Representatives agreed to take up 2 vetoes issued by Donald Trump. No objections, no debate. A clerk read the veto messages. The chair asked for consent. The date was set, January 8, 2026. That single procedural step sent a message Trump understands better than any headline. The House is preparing to override him. This didn't dominate the news cycle. It didn't trend. But it will, because a veto override is not symbolic. It is Congress telling a president that his authority ends where their patience runs out. And Trump has pushed that patience to the breaking point. Look closely at what he vetoed and why. The first was H.R. 131, the Arkansas Valley Conduit Act, a bipartisan clean water infrastructure bill that would have delivered safe, affordable drinking water to more than 50,000 people in Colorado, in an area where contamination is a real and ongoing threat. Republicans supported it. Democrats supported it. Every single member of Congress voted yes. Donald Trump vetoed it anyway. Not because of cost, not because of policy, but because one of the sponsors, Lauren Boebert, committed an unforgivable offense in Trump's world. She signed a discharge petition tied to releasing the Epstein files. That is how Trump governs. Loyalty above law, punishment over policy. He retaliated against an entire region because one lawmaker stepped out of line, and that wasn't the only motive. Trump has been punishing Colorado more broadly, because the state refuses to release Tina Peters, a convicted felon tied to efforts to overturn the 2020 election. Colorado chose the rule of law. Trump chose revenge, so he tried to weaponize access to clean water as leverage. That is not leadership. That is abuse of power. The second veto was even more revealing. H.R. 504 involved funding for a water project benefiting the Miccosukee tribe, whose ancestral and ceremonial lands sit in the Everglades, lands that were ignored and violated when the Trump-DeSantis operation rushed to build an immigrant detention camp on Miccosukee grounds. A facility environmental groups condemned. A facility the tribe sued to stop. A place the Miccosukee call home. Trump vetoed bipartisan funding for the tribe's water project and explicitly cited their opposition to his immigration policies. That is retaliation against indigenous people for defending their land. Congress noticed. Both bills passed unanimously before Trump vetoed them. Unanimous, that matters. It means Trump didn't just defy Democrats. He defied Congress itself, and institutions remember when they are treated with contempt. This is happening at the worst possible moment for Trump and his enablers. MAGA Mike Johnson is the weakest speaker in modern memory. Even his own caucus knows it. Even Marjorie Taylor Greene has said it out loud. He is speaker in name only, a messenger carrying Trump's orders instead of a leader guiding the House. And leadership is exactly what this moment demands. Another government shutdown is looming on January 30th. The last shutdown solution was nothing more than a temporary extension, and that extension is about to expire. Congress has only 12 scheduled legislative days this month. 9 of 12 government funding bills remain unfinished. 9. That is dysfunction on a historic scale. At the same time, pressure is exploding across the House. Discharge petitions are bypassing leadership. Democrats are forcing votes. Republicans tried to bury Affordable Care Act. Subsidies are set to expire, threatening massive premium increases for millions of Americans. MAGA leadership wants to do nothing, but their own members are rebelling. You can hear it now on camera. Republicans furious at leadership, warning of electoral consequences, admitting that doing nothing is not an option, acknowledging that premiums will skyrocket and voters will remember. This is not Democratic messaging. This is Republican panic. And hanging over all of it is Epstein, the Epstein Transparency Act, the discharge petition, the refusal by Trump-aligned Republicans to release files and videos that do not compromise national security, but absolutely compromise powerful people. The cover-up is cracking.
Considering running for, you can't close the door on me. What are you doing? Are you considering running for a seat in Texas? Why won't you answer the question, Mr. Issa?
You can see it in lawmakers running from reporters, slamming doors, refusing to answer basic questions. You can hear it in senators openly calling for the files to be released, for videos to be made public, for the truth to come out. Trump's power has always depended on silence, on delay, on confusion. And silence is ending. That is why this House revolt matters. It is not just about clean water. It is not just about healthcare subsidies. It is not just about funding deadlines. It is about institutions reclaiming authority from a man who believes government exists to serve him personally. To override a veto, Congress needs a 2/3 vote in both chambers. That threshold exists for moments exactly like this, when a president governs out of spite instead of public interest. Trump created those moments himself by retaliating against states, punishing tribes, weaponizing vetoes, and governing through grudges. Now the House is moving. When Congress returns, Affordable Care Act subsidies are likely to pass the House. The Senate will be forced to choose between obstruction and reality. The veto overrides will come up. The unfinished funding bills will demand resolution. And the Epstein cover-up will not disappear, no matter how hard Trump wants it buried. This is not one crisis. This is convergence. Trump's agenda depends on fear, on obedience, on leadership that follows orders instead of governing. That structure is collapsing under its own incompetence and corruption. Mega Mike Johnson is overwhelmed. The caucus is fractured. Discharge petitions are succeeding. Procedural tools are bypassing obstruction. The veto pen is losing its threat. Trump wanted loyalty. He got defiance. Trump wanted silence. He got process. Trump wanted control. He got resistance. This is how authoritarian agendas unravel, not always with fireworks, not always with a single dramatic moment, but with erosion, with institutions reasserting themselves, with people realizing the bully only has power if everyone agrees to be afraid. And that agreement is ending. We are anonymous. We watch what others miss. We read what they hope you won't. We see the shift before it becomes obvious. If you want to stay ahead of what comes next, if you want to understand how Trump's agenda is collapsing from the inside, stay with us. Share this, subscribe, keep watching, because this revolt is not the end. It is the beginning of the unraveling.